All right, guys, here is our next card, and it's one of my favorites. It's so pretty. This card actually started off this whole class when I first made it, so I love how it turned out. Such a great, great card and very easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to use the burlap background stamp on this card. For the background, it's really easy to use. So I'll fold my crumb cake card. I will go ahead and ink up the background stamp, and I tried doing this stamped off. In fact, I will show you, but it was really light and I didn't like it, so I went ahead with the full strength version. Now I'm just going to take my stamp image and go ahead and put this down. You can actually use a block to get nice even coverage of your ink, like so. And then voila, there is my stamp image. It will dry a little bit lighter, as you can kind of see. So I'll set that aside and let it dry. Then I'm going to take my Very Vanilla panel and I'll stamp my branches 3 times. And that, well, actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to stamp my Just Breathe. I'm doing this in crumb cake as well. This is probably my favorite image of this set. I love it. Just Breathe. Ooh, that did not stamp well. Goodness. Oh, that reminds me. If you have that problem, let me show you a tip. So I'm going to clean my stamp. Then I'm going to take my Versamark and ink it in Versamark. And then I'm going to ink it. I might just wipe it off a little. You don't have to do that. You can leave it on there. Then I'm going to ink it up once more. And I just think you're going to love the results. Just breathe. Oh, it came out better. It's a little more even. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is take my, close that up, we're done. Take my Early Espresso ink and add those branches. Okay, so I want to keep them fairly close to the edge of my card. Like so, and I'm going to do one here, and then another kind of like that. Okay, we'll close that up because we're done with that. Then I will add my flowers in powder pink. And I don't know about you guys, I have always wanted to go to Washington, D.C. during the blooming of the cherry blossoms, but I've never been able to do it. So this is kind of my homage to that. Okay, so I'm just going to line these up, stamp them down, see how the flowers fit in those little open spaces. So I'm lining up the petals on the ends of the branches and then just adjusting so that my flowers fit in the indents nicely. And we'll do one more here. So I'll line up those petals on the tips of the branches, the very edge, and then I'll just adjust as necessary to get my flowers to fit in there perfectly. So there we go. Okay, so that part is done. I'm also going to take my powder pink marker and just spritz a little. And, ooh, I did that kind of hard. So I just got some spritzes, kind of big ones, but that's fine. Like I said, you just never know what you're going to get. Okay. Then last thing I'm going to do is you have a big hunk of ribbon. You're going to use a little bit on each end. Okay, so on this big ribbon, what you're going to do is you're going to take just a little hunk like this. So just maybe 3 inches or so. Cut that off, and we're going to attach it to our card like this. I like to flip it over, and then I can use fast fuse or glue dots. It doesn't really matter which. If you use fast fuse though, definitely go all the way around. Oh, but you know what? Hold on. We're going to attach this to our layer of Early Espresso first. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, ooh, my Early Espresso looks a little long. I'm going to trim that. 1 second. Hold on. find that I'm kind of an anal stamper sometimes. Of course, that fell on the floor, and my dog has camped out right on the floor, down right at my feet. Oh, goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this and go across like so. I am showing you where it fits so you can get your adhesive on there correctly. Okay, so again, I like to turn it over just like I mentioned on that other card so you can see exactly where you're going with it and make sure it's going to line up nicely on the front side, because that's what matters. The back side, who cares? Well, that can be ugly. Okay, so there's one side, and then the other side we're going to do the same thing, but we're also going to tie on a hunk of ribbon, and you should have more than enough for this process, by the way. So again, we'll just cut it off, and then the rest of this is to tie a knot. Okay, so to do that, again, I'm going to put my adhesive on here. Like so. Oop, that's a little tight. Sorry. We're going to change that up. Put it down like this, just a little further, so that there is enough room for us to attach that bow. So I need a little more adhesive. But again, who cares? It's the back side, so it's no big deal. Now what I'm going to do is slide this underneath here, and then I'm going to tie my bow going across here like so, and then I'll just trim the edges. And isn't that so pretty? Okay, now to finish this off, we're going to pop this up on top of our background. Get some dimensionals here and adhere this. That was a sheet of dimensionals left over from a paper pumpkin kit, in case you were wondering why it looked different. Because they sometimes give you the appropriate number that you need for the kit. Okay, so there's our card. Isn't that just beautiful? I hope you like this one because it's one of my faves.